Every month you open the same spreadsheet, calculate the same numbers, and write the same email. What if that whole thing wrote itself? No more checking spreadsheets, no more writing repeat emails, no more losing an hour every month to a task that hasn't changed in years. In the next few minutes, we are going to build an AI agent that does all of it automatically for free. You drop a CSV, the agent reads it, asks AI to write the analysis, and emails it to whoever needs it every month forever. Let's build it. This is going to be the workflow. Your AI agent has 4 blocks, 4 little Python sections. Each does one thing. Number 1, the loader. Pandas reads your CSV and calculates the monthly headline numbers. Number 2, the analyst. AI reads those numbers, and here we are going to use Gemini. It writes an email narrative. Number 3, the sender. Gmail delivers it as plain text. Number 4, the scheduler. Task scheduler runs the script on the first of every month. Here is the 4 free tools: Anaconda for Python and Pandas, Google Gemini API, it's free, Gmail with an app password, and task scheduler built into your operating system. Now we are going to setting up things for our execution. There are just 3 steps. Number 1 is to install packages, and step 2 is get your free Gemini API key. Step 3 would be get your Gmail app password. So coming on to step 1, open your new Jupyter notebook and save your file. I have saved it as agent, and I'm going to install the packages. Pip install pandas Google pip install pandas Google generative AI. So this installs pandas if you don't have it yet, plus the Google Gemini software development kit. Let it run, the packages will get installed. I'm using the same sales 2026 dataset from previous episode because in that episode I have used AI to analyze and interpret the data. If you don't have it, the Kaggle link is in the description below. We can use the same dataset for our complete execution. The next step is to get your free Gemini API key. For that, open your new browser tab and click on Google AI Studio. Click here. You can navigate to get started. This will ask you to sign in with your email ID. So once you sign in the top left, you will see a button labeled Get API Key. Just click it and create the new API key. Pick the project Google offers, that is usually 1. So just click create. Now copy the key once, close the dialog box. You can come back and view this key later, but copy it now so you can paste it where we need it next time. Now the step 3 is get your Gmail app password. We can't use our normal password because Google blocks that for scripts. We need an app password instead. So easiest way is to type Google My Account app password. This takes you straight to the app password page. And if it is needed, you can just give a sign in. There should be a 2-factor authentication must already be on for your Google account. If it is not enabled, just enable it. On the app password page, type any name in the box. Click create. Google shows you a 16-character password with spaces. Copy it once. Google only shows it once. Now we are actually going into the process of block 1. The first process is loader. Just open your Jupyter notebook and import the libraries and load the dataset. 2 imports pandas and JSON. We'll add the AI library later. So read the CSV and we are going to parse the date column because the date is not in the date time format. So I'm going to parse it with pandas date and time. Then printing the rows and columns to understand how many rows and columns we have. We have 50,000 rows. This is the e-commerce data set. Now we have to decide which month to report. The answer should be last month. We use the latest month in the data set because when this runs by itself through the scheduler, the latest month is last month. So same code but different meaning. So I'm going to take latest month from the date and I'm going to extract the latest month and just print how many orders on the latest month. Then we are going to build the summary just with the dictionary format. I'm not sending the entire 50,000 rows to AI. That would be slow and expensive, and it is pointless. I'm building a small dictionary with just the numbers that matter and sending that. So create a variable called summary. In that, I'm going to take the month. Total revenue is just the sum of amount. Total orders, that is the number of orders in the latest month, and unique customers, number of unique customers in the latest month. Average order value, which is the amount average. Top 5 products, I'm going to group it by product and taking the sum of amount with n largest 5. Top 5 countries, I'm going to group it by region and taking the sum of amount and filtering the first 5 rows, the top 5 countries, and just printing it and dumping it with a JSON file. Always look at the numbers before you trust them. So the total revenue for 1 month is 42,451 and the total orders is 2,110. The top 5 products, it has filtered it out, and top 5 countries, which is United Kingdom, Germany, France, Netherlands. It makes sense. If your number had been some 10 million pounds, then that's a red flag. The data filter is wrong. That's the loader part, about 15 lines of pandas code. The output is one clean dictionary with the month's headline. So nothing fancy. Now we are going to the block 2, the analyst part. Now connect to Gemini, import OS, import Google Generative AI, and give the Gemini API key that we have created from Google AI Studio. The model I have used here is Gemini 2.5 Flash. The prompt is the most important code. This is the most important block in this entire video, and it is not just the API call, it is the prompt. Just watch the structure. I'm going to write the variable as prompt. The prompt is, you are a senior data analyst writing the monthly sales report for the execution team of a UK-based gift retailer. And here is the data for, I'm just taking the summary from the month and asking to write a 5-paragraph email report with these sections. Number 1 is executive summary. Number 2 is top products narrative. Number 3, geographic breakdown. Number 4, customer behavior insight. And number 5, one specific thing to investigate or act on the next month. The rules I have given as crispy tone, that is no marketing, no buzzwords, and all currency is in pounds and plain text only. There are 4 pieces. The one is role, that is you're a senior data analyst. Number 2 is context, the date and the month I have given. Number 3 is format, exactly what paragraphs and what order. Number 4 is rules, that is tone, currency style, and what to avoid. I'm generating the prompt that I have given already, and the response I have stored it in a variable called analysis. Now print the analysis. Just check the first paragraph is executive summary, headline number is correct. Second one is top products, and the third is countries, and the fourth customer behavior, and fifth recommendation. This is the real AI analyst quality email. Now third block, sender. We use Gmail, it is free, reliable, and everyone has it. And we send a plain text, not a HTML. For setting up the email, import SMTP library. It is a built-in Python library used to send emails using simple mail transfer protocol. It is commonly used when you want Python scripts, automation workflows, or AI agents to send emails automatically. 3 things to notice. Number 1, MIME text takes the analysis variable directly. The AI text becomes the body. Number 2, subject line uses an F string with the month, so it auto formats each time it sends email. Number 3, to and from. To is set to your own email for the first test, so we can understand whether the script runs. So we can understand once the script runs, we will receive an email to ourselves. Now the actual sending. Everything from with SMTP library down to send message lives in the same cell, so don't split them. Copy paste the app password from Google. apply to your password, your from email and your to email and your subject. Once the code runs, we can go and check the email inbox. It should receive the email of the data analysis report, the summary of the report what we have built. Here we go, we have received the summary report for this month. So it is working fine. Now we are going to the fourth block, which is scheduler. This helps us to do the automation end to end. Before going to the Windows Task Scheduler, we have to turn our notebook into an executable script. For that, just go to File, Save and Export Notebook as Executable Script. So then save your file with .py inside your folder so that whenever your data has been read, it will be running as a .py file. And before that, remove all the print statements in your code because they will get cluttered when the script runs by itself. Now go on to Windows Task Scheduler. So go to search and click Windows Task Scheduler. Just type Task Scheduler. Just click on that. Okay, so here create basic task, click on create basic task. So we have to give the name for the task. We can give any name for this task. So I'll be giving monthly sales report, and description I can give anything. I can give AI co-analyst for the monthly report. Click next. So it asks when you want to start the task. It can be weekly, daily, monthly and all. If it wants to be weekly, just click on this weekly and click next. So every week at what time it has to start. So for this I'm going to start in this date, and every day morning 9 o'clock. So I just keep 9 a.m. Monday. Click next. And what action do you want the task to perform? Just start the program, because once the program starts, automatically the script will run and the mail will be executed and it will be going to the inbox. So click next. We have to give the file path for the program and the arguments. For the program script, it should be a Python .exe, and add arguments, it is the Python file where it has been saved. So both the file paths we have to add over here. The program folder is usually, it is inside your Anaconda folder. So I'll just give the Anaconda 3, and inside that I have python.exe. So I have given that full path. You can use the same kind of the path, but it will be in your users in your name. So you can change that path only. And for adding arguments, it is the one where your file has been stored. Your Python file, whatever you have written the code, that Python file where it has been stored. So that path you have to give over here. I'll paste the folder path and also the file name. I have that stored in agency.py file. Then click next. So just check, is everything okay? Name, description, and when it needs to be triggered. It is weekly at 9 o'clock in the morning every Monday. And action is start the program, that is the Python file will get started, which is located, the file is located in this particular path. So you can just give finish. So this will be added over here. See, you could see here the monthly sales report at 9 a.m. every Monday, that has been saved. So every Monday automatically in the 9 o'clock the script runs. So we can check this by highlighting this, and you can run so that we can understand whether the whole process is running as scheduled. So what I'm going to do is I'll just click run so that it has to run, and the email should be, the whole process should run and we should receive the email. Click run. See, this cell automatically started running. I'm going to refresh my inbox so that, see, I have got this sales report that has been generated, because the script runs and the final output is the email that needs to be sent to the email address. So the final output also has been received. In summary, every week at 9 a.m., your computer wakes up. It reads your latest sales data. It asks Google Gemini to write the analysis. It formats the email. It sends it to whoever you put it in the to field. You do nothing. You don't even need to be at your computer. The same pattern: loader, analyst, sender, and scheduler. It works for any recurring report. It can be weekly KPIs, quarterly board updates, daily inventory alerts. Same architecture, different data, different prompt, and different schedule. That's it. What we just built is a small example of where the entire analytics industry is moving. AI agents that handle the routine work, humans that build, supervise, and verify them. Three habits to remember from this episode. Number one is, anything you do every month, you can probably automate in 100 lines of Python plus AI API. Number two, verification is your job even when the agent writes the report. Number three, the highest paid analyst in 2027 won't write reports. They'll build the systems that write reports. Today, we just took the first step in that direction.